Myself, Ketan M. Patel from Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center, Navsari, Electrical Engineering Department. Subject name is Testing and Commissioning of Electrical Equipments. 4th year, 8th semester. Chapter number 2, Installation of Electrical Equipment. Now, syllabus content of first is tools, instruments necessary for installation. Second one is technical report and inspections. Third one is storage and handling of transformer, switchgear and motors. Now, first is tools or instruments necessary for installation. Here there is a different types of instruments like a voltmeter, Phillips screwdrivers, tape measures, fish tape, flashlight, hammer. Here is clapon meters, CRO probes, multimeters. These are the all instruments. Hammer, etc. Here, the all equipments is most important while you are in installation process. Electricity requires an electrical path to flow, and there are many conducting materials used for this purpose. There are many semiconducting materials which are used to reduce the voltage and also drop the current flow. There are non-conducting materials which are used as insulation during working on live lines. In this unit, we will study how the household and industrial is done and what materials are essentials for household and industry. We will also study the different types of instruments in case. In electrical, there are different types of wirings and wirings materials are used in installations. Electrical wire is made of materials like a copper, aluminum and silver. As a silver is expensive, mostly copper and aluminum are used in wiring. Materials are classified into three types according to their properties. First is conducting materials, second one is insulating materials, and third one is semiconductor materials. Copper, it is a good conductor of electricity. It is used in wiring materials in cables. It has low resistance and is used for conductions of electricity at high, medium and low voltage. It is used in wiring and cable making. Aluminum, it is the lightweight and cheaper in comparison to copper. Therefore, this type of conducting material is mostly used in electrical wiring. It is the silver white in color and has a soft texture. It is often used in wiring and making cable. Insulating materials. Insulating materials are used for insulating purpose. This type of materials are bad conductors of current. For example, rubber, paper, mica, wood, glass and water. Switches. Switches is used to make a break on electrical circuit. It is used to switch on or off the supply of electricity to an appliances. There are various switches such as surface switch, flush switch, ceiling switch, pull switch, push button switch, bed switch, etc. There are holders is used. A holder is of two types, pendant holder and pattern holder. In ceiling rows, it is used to provide a tapping the pendant lamp pole to the flexible wire or connections to a fluorescent tube. In socket or outlet plug, the socket outlet has an insulated base with the model or socket base having 3 terminal sleeves. Main switch. To control the electrical circuit, a main switch is used. Through the main switch, the power is in a building is controlled completely. The wirings types is PVC casing capping type wirings, conduit pipe type wirings, etc. MCB. MCB is used in new constructions instead of the older types of fuses. Circuit breakers are small devices used to control and protect the electrical panel and the other device from the overflowing of electrical power. As with the breaker, the MCB is designed to protect the house from circuit overload. An MCB is much safer than typical fuse because it can be reset manually and can handle larger amount of power. The breaker can merge the flow of energy, distributing the voltage even when many devices run off the same power circuits. Lights. MCB are used in the lighting systems of the house because they can deal with the amount of power needed to lighting house, especially if specific types of lamps such as fluorescent lights are used. MCBs overcome the need of additional power required when switching on the lights, especially when lights are used extensively in the entire house. Industrial applications. There are many small-scale industrial buildings where MCBs are used instead of the fuses. MCBs are largely used in restaurants, bakeries, and commercial food stores. Heaters. When heaters are used home or in the offices, the MCB can be beneficial. It is known in general that heaters can be problematic sometimes, especially with distribution of electrical power. The MCB prevents possible problems, cutting the efficiency in the case of overload or fault. In this case, you need to choose a miniature circuit breaker or the proper capacity, enabling it to handle the load of power when needed. Okay. In casing capping, conduit, etc. are the different types of wiring in a household as well as domestic and industrial purposes. Now, different types of switches and distribution board are also used in electrical installations. ICTP, iron clad triple pole switch. It is used along with the energy meter to isolate the supply of electricity automatically or manually. Distribution board. A distribution board is a component of an electricity supply system that divides an electrical power feed into subsidiary circuits while providing a protective fuse or circuit breaker for each circuit in a common enclosure. A distribution board is also known as panel board, breaker panel, or electrical panel. Now, electrical circuits. In an electrical circuit, the positive side of wire is connected to the negative side of the load. For example, bulb, TV, etc. And power supply is started by using the switches. The circuit is like an electrical house. A type of circuit is open, closed, series, parallel. Different types of wiring is available in electrical. Now, the precautions like protection is also one thing. Safety measures is very important. Workplace hazard systems are designed to protect the health and safety of workers. Information must be provided about the safe handling, usage, storage, and disposal of hazardous systems. Workplace hazard is something that can be potential harm to technicians. There are hazards in every type of job and every type of workplace. Everyone at a workplace shares the responsibility to identify and control the hazards. The technician must first recognize the hazards at the workplace. When the technician installs or assembles the component, she or he may have to face hazards which are related to the workplace. For instance, the hazards can be associated with the installation and assembly process of a water purifier. The technicians should be aware of the hazards associated with the installation of a water purifier. Majority of the hazards can be avoided by being aware and taking appropriate precautions. Electrical hazard. An electrical hazard defines a dangerous conditions These dangerous conditions is related to energized equipment or a conductor at workplace. If a technician comes in contact with the energized equipment, then the equipment may cause injury to the technician. There is a possibility of being electrocuted or getting an arc flash, burn, thermal burn, or blast injury while assembling the components in a unit. Many of the hazards can be avoided by being aware and taking appropriate precautions. This will ensure safety at workplace. Points that need to be remembered for working safely around electrical panel and cabinet are as follow. Watch out the loose cords and wires. Loose cords and wires can cause physical hazards and even electrical hazards. Hazard type should be placed if a cord or wire is placed on a pathway. Wear proper personal protective equipment. The kind of personal protective equipment required around a machines will depend upon type of machines and task the employee is performing. Nevertheless, gloves, safety glasses, earplugs, and other gears are important to use where necessary. For safety, sign can be posted near panels reminding employees to wear PPE. Use caution around heat sources. Some panel and equipment get hot while operating. Everyone should be aware of this area and use caution when nearby. PPE like gloves or flame resistance clothing may be required in this area. Be careful when cleaning. When cleaning around a panel or equipment, one should note other possible hazards too, like a fire and explosion hazards, need for PPE during cleaning, risk of electric shock. Follow visual and written instructions panel. Equipment has sign and label on them alerting employee to hazards. Be cautious while testing, replacing the components in the panel. All level of voltage should be considered equally dangerous. Even the voltage level which cannot produce electric shock should also not be ignored. We should check and confirm that the circuit is dead before touching it for repairing, maintenance, or any other work. Avoid water at all times when working with electricity. Never touch or try repairing any electrical equipment or circuits with wet hands. It increases the conductivity of electrical current. Never use equipment with damaged installation or broken plugs. If you are repairing an electrical device, always turn off the main supply. Always use insulated tools while working. Always use appropriate insulated rubber gloves and goggles while working on an branch circuit or any other electrical circuits. Never try repairing energized equipment. Always check that is de-energized first by using the tester. Chemical hazards are caused due to improper storage of chemicals causing a chemical leakage, mishandling of chemicals due to inadequate training or negligence. Fire extinguisher is one of the most important element. First aid for electrical emergencies, electrical rescue techniques like approaching the accidents, examining the scene, hazards on solutions, high voltage rescue, first aid are very important while taking any installation process. Now, next is technical report inspection. While technical inspection report, here one is demo or report electrical installation conditions. Like in section A, details of the client or persons ordering the report. Section B, reason for producing this report. Section C, detail of installation which is the subject of the report. Here the name of the fill the all the details. Okay. Section D, extend the limitations of inspection and testings. Summary of conditions of the installations, recommendations, declarations, and inspected by, tested by, and report authorized by, issued by. And last is schedules. All field details are checked by the persons. Installations work is carried out by installation engineer through the departmental persons or through contractor. Complete report has to be given to the higher authority after the work is completed and inspected. This report should be point-wise and clear. For the routine work, there are special forms which include all the necessary points. Technical report include first the information about equipment which is commissioned in the form of the rating plate, including the serial number. In addition to this, the includes result of various mechanical tests like leveling, alignment, measurement of air gap, vibration, etc. It also includes electrical tests like insulation resistance, polarization index, earth resistance, reading for every hour. If drying of the winding has to be done, reports of filtering of the oil, different result of the test made on transformer, motor, generator, etc. Any report without the significance of the responsible person is useless. It is necessary to maintain the zero problems of the report. We shall see one or two separations of the technical report. Second report you are writing in this application form like a testing department. Okay, this and this engineering industries. Okay, to chief executive engineers. Okay, so these are the technical report while in inspections. Now these are the also another technical report. Okay, details of client, in installation addresses, description and extent of the installation. Okay, if any other documents are required, the extension of installation covered by these certificates. Okay, and in signature and stamp, and this is passed to the next process. Okay, now storage and handling of transformer, switch gears and motor. The machines should be stored in a clean, dry storehouse having uniform temperatures. Firstly, the inspections on arrival at site. On arrival at site, the packing case should be checked against the dispatch particulars. Any loss of package in the transit should be intimated to the manufacturer and insurance company. Transformers should be unpacked and inspected for any signs, fittings, bushings, etc. Oil leakage should be checked along the valves, tank wells, gasified flange, etc. A large variance of temperature cause differential expansion, like a hence should be avoided. Heaters should be provided to avoid dampness. The gas reserve, if gas filled, should be checked. Transformer transient damage must be immediately reported to the manufacturer and insurance company. So inspections should be carried out jointly. Storage transformer to be installed immediately. Do not need elaborate storage. Otherwise, proper storage is needed. To avoid entry of moisture, effect of rains, dust, etc. Preferably to store transformer indoors with proper coverings and proper cooling. The air in the storeroom should not have relative more than 68%. The temperature should not be below plus 15 degrees Celsius. Direct sunlight, rainwater, dust, gases, water, smoke should not be present in the storeroom. Chemical, batteries, gas cylinders, explosives should not be kept in the same storeroom. There should be proper pest control, no rats, vermins, and other troublesome pests or rodents should be allowed in the storeroom. Machines should not be kept on mud floor. The floor of store should not be subjected to vibrations. In case vibrations, the machines should be placed on rubber blocks. There should be no smoking sign in the storeroom. The basic requirements of the machine's foundations are horizontal level, rigidity, freedom for vibrations. While storage in handling of all electrical equipment, the procedure of receiving electric machines at site is also very important. The machines are inspected and packed in the factory before dispatch. On arrival at site, the packing is inspected for transient breakage. If any, the packing is unpacked. All the parts and accessories are inspected to see if the materials received is as per dispatch list. Also, the inspection reveals transit damaged. If any, there are any missing items or damaged items, the report should be sent to the manufacturer, transport company, and the insurance company. Within 3 days of the receipt, the following terminology is used, like consigned, consignee, consigner, and consignment. Here, also different parameters is very important, like the shaft of driven and driving machines are aligned by various methods. Here the alignment of flexible couplings has been desirable. There are 3 steps in the alignment of the shaft: axial positioning of the shaft, parallel of shaft, centering of shaft axis. Now, information usually contained in the instruction manual or installation and maintenance. The manufacturer of induction motor supplies the instruction manual or installation maintenance of the motor. Such as manual should be truly studied by the erection staff and maintenance staff. The information includes the following, like receiving at site, storage for a short period and a long period, drying out prior to commissioning, care of bearings, installation and removal of bearings, installation procedure, earthing of the frame, foundation procedure, V-belt drives, gear and gearbox drives, balancing of rotor, alignment of shafts of motor and drive, wiring and connections, terminal box arrangements, starting, general maintenance, water-cooled, air-cooled systems, slip rings, brushes and brush gears arrangement, controllers, starters and rheostats, troubleshootings, protection, lubrication schedule, spares and special tools, and fault and their remedies. So they are the main information usually connected in the instrument manual or instrument maintenance supplied by the manufacturer of the induction motor. Now, the static load and dynamic load of a running machines is transmitted to the ground via the machine's foundations. So, procedure of the foundation of electrical machines. 3 basics requirement of the machine's foundations are horizontal level, rigidity, freedom from vibrations. The total installations companies the following essential features, like a foundations made of cement concrete, bed plate, foundation, bolt. In concrete foundations, the machines with or without bed plate should be securely bolted to solid form level foundations. The foundation may be common or motor generator or motor and the driven machines. Okay. Then the quality of the good foundations are rigidity and freedom from vibrations. The compositions of the concrete used for machines foundations is cement 1 part, broken stone 4 parts, sharp sand 2 parts. In bed plate, medium and large rolling machines are installed on bed plates in one piece or sectionalized or separate for motor and generator. Mounting bed plates and large machines, pads for mounting bed plates, foundation boards are used in when installation. So these are the Important points of storage and handling of all equipment like a transformer, switchgear and motors. Thank you.